Gentlemen, it's Tom, and we are here for another SSFA playoff game. This is the semifinals to make the Super Bowl and take on the great Dennis Crowley. And will it be Ed Barrow, the commissioner, or will it be Scott Mueller? Mueller? Anyone? I think it's actually Mueller. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to pronounce Scott's last name, so I'll butcher it and selfishly play it up for comedic purposes, which I'm sure are very, very funny, of course. Funniest joke ever. If I was the president, I'd probably refer to it that way. Everything he does is the best. Just ask him. Not to get into politics, but whether you're a supporter or detractor of Mr. Trump's, you have to admit he has a way of aggrandizing things disproportionately. I think is a pretty fair and accurate statement that both sides could agree on. Everything's the hugest and the greatest and the best, and no one's ever seen it before. And like this SSFA game, this is the best SSFA game ever. You guys have never seen a game like this. I say before kickoff. And I think Ed's team was 11-4-1. Scott's was 12-4. Scott took over. I've said this before. A terrible, awful team, like 4 or 5 years ago. But they had Peyton Manning on it. She traded to me for a bunch of stuff. And he rebuilt over the years, built up a strong young team, and this is where he is, 12-4. That's how you want to do it. Well, it's one way to do it. For Dan, you don't want to do it that way. You want to, a lot of people only 3 or 4 years, which I can understand. It's a long time. What if it doesn't go right? So, but anyway, this is one way to do it. And Ed's going to have the ball first. The flat pass left to Tim Hightower. Completion for 9 yards from Kirk Cousins. So you see Ed as his franchise quarterback, and Cousins picked him up from Butch. Butch has Matt Ryan. And Ed's got Carlos Hyde. The ratings file came out earlier today. I was certainly glad I got to look at it in depth. In a fair amount of depth, mid-level depth, before this game. 2nd and 1 for the Niners at his own 29. Carlos Hyde is the halfback and then blocking back formation. Long pass to C. Smith. Defense gets the pass, double teaming elsewhere. Smith's covered by a 5, and the dump boss is good for 9 yards and a first down. That was Sebastian Vollmer blocking Mike Daniels. I'm going to need a minute to adjust myself. Egbert saw Tim Hightower running a lot for Ed in his previous playoff game. That was a victory over... So off tackle right to Tim Hightower, no linebackers there. Hightower ran the ball a lot for Ed in the first half of that game. You see he's on the field a lot here today. It's 11 with the box, with the linebacker vacating. It's a 21-yard game for Hightower. And Ed is already in New Orleans territory. First and 10 to 41. And, of course, that was that great game against Dan Morin's Chiefs, 25-22. That could have gone either way. That Ed won late. And run right to Tim Hightower. Defense guessing pass, flooding the flats. Defensive end +1 and +5. It's a 1-yard gain. Robert Quinn was involved in the Russell Wilson trade, the pick that Dennis used to get Russell Wilson back when Russell was in the draft. Makes the play. Defensive line goes 5-5-5 for the New Orleans. They play a 3-4. 5-4-6-4 at linebacker in terms of pass. And secondary, all 5s except for the free safety 4. Linebook Tim Hightower. Scott calling run this time and bringing one linebacker up to the line of scrimmage. Linebacker zone -1 or +9. And it's Danny Trevathan, who's a 5, who makes the play. And it'll be a 3rd and 10 for the Niners at the Saints 41. Big play upcoming. Head. Up. Forgive some of the commands I gave related to my disability during the broadcast. So I try to reposition myself. But we've got 3rd down and 10 for the Niners now. 3 wide, 1 fullback. Anthony Fasano is the fullback. Wasn't there a Sal Fasano? He was a catcher, I think. think it was on one of my strat teams many moons ago. Looks like we've got a long pass to Stephon Diggs, but Khalil Mack double teaming. It's a linebacker double teams. There's no linebackers there. I've gotten burned to that on the defensive guard. But Defender X will be incomplete against the double team. It was a 4 and a 4 anyway. But I've gotten burned a couple times recently on the long pass, no men with a linebacker successful double team. We see a coffin corner punt from Ed, a beautiful one, almost. He was punting from the 41, and the ball went exactly 41 yards, so it's a touchback. And Scott will come out. I don't think I called that game. I watched some of it the first half. I think Saints-Washington, I remember. Scott pulling ahead in the second half of that one. So I don't feel like I know this team as well as the other teams I've been calling. Up. Here's a looking pass to Mike Tolbert from Ryan Tannehill. Is Scott's starting quarterback defender +2 or +5. Sean Lee is a 6 this year. Cancel. And maybe next year as well. I don't remember, but he makes the play, creating a 2nd down and 8. Scott runs the pro set. I remember this. Michael Reeves did the honors that game. Thank you, Michael. As I was getting ready for a different game. Looking past A.J. Green, defense double teaming elsewhere. Receiver gets right, incomplete. But in the early downs, Scott likes to go pro set because he has Mike Tolbert, a fullback who can actually run the ball and still block and catch. And that's the formation we've seen, even though it's been passing so far. Looks like we do have a broadcast going. Everything seems to be fine. Cancel. We have a 3rd down and 8. Scott goes 3 wide, 1 halfback. Ed goes down 3-2-6. Short pass Robert Woods. Covered by a 4 defense. Double teaming elsewhere. The interception split on the defense's card. 2-6 and 12 are incomplete with 4 men. Incomplete. 4th and 8. Bray Nortman comes out for the punt. It's a good one down inside the 30 to Keith Mumphrey, who I think has a touchdown and maybe a 12-yarder somewhere in there. And the lengthy delay, no touchdown from Mumphrey. 2 is 20 yards. 7's an 8-yard gain. So the Niners are up to their own 36 following the punt. Keith has a great receiver. Scott has those great receivers with DeAndre Hopkins and A.J. Green, both having excellent cards. A.J. Green every year, of course. And we're left to Tim Hightower. Defense calls pass. The first play of Ed's second possession. Defensive end +1 or +5. Mike Daniels, his PFF run grade is always like just below where they give you a 6 because he's on my autumn win team. He's a 5, and a white die 6 could not make the play. It's a 5-yard gain for Hightower. 2nd and 5, Niners, their second possession. Winner makes the SSFA Super Bowl. It's a very pleasant New York evening here on the East Coast, 7:24 Eastern Time. Short pass to Steve Smith, covered by a 5, 3-minute zone. Defense double teaming elsewhere. And it's another dump ball. Receiver gets right. 8-yard pickup to Hightower. That was a 7 on a 3. Mike Daniels, the defensive end, not known for his pass rush. Even the Monty Quinn is only a 5'6" this year. And the nose tackle, Ian Williams, only a 5'2". Scott's got Khalil Mack playing outside linebacker because he has good defensive end strength on this team. Did not have good linebacker strength. And look, Robert Quinn's not good next year, so Mack will play defensive end next year. Linebacker to Hightower. Nose tackle +7 or +33. And Hightower gets a white die 6 to beat the nose tackle 5. It's the Snake Eyes on the run. Capped due to Hightower's longest run. He just could not make those extra 7 yards. He's not capable of it. 26 and over. 33 way too far. 26 is the limit for him. Mick would like that commentary. But it's the first down for the Niners at the Saints 25-yard line. Just about midway through the opening quarter. 0-0. Short pass to Laney Walker. Foreman, the defense guessing pass. Mack blitzing. And receiver gets right +11. X on the white die. We don't play penalties anymore. No pass rush in play. Cousins 4 of 5 for 37 yards. You got a couple of dump offs in there at least. And from the defensive 14, Scott will show blitz this time. Mac's only responsibility is covering Anthony Fasano. Short pass Malcolm Butts. Defense calls run. Foreman in the zone. And Scott's got the good defensive card. So that 9 is very much in play for the defense. And receiver gets wrong, incomplete to Floyd, who has 22 units only But, man, look at them. They're all 19 yards or better, 18 yards or better. A lot of one gains sprinkled in there. 16/22. We've got a 2nd down and 10 for the Niners. The Saints 14. Defense showing blitz off tackle right to Hightower. Guess wrong, but one linebacker in zone. And guess wrong for on Hightower's card is a 7-yard gain, setting up a big 3rd and 3 for the Niners for the New Orleans 7-yard line. Can we get a first down here? Is they going to go for the touchdown? If Scott can hold him to a field goal attempt here, I'm sure he'd be very happy with that. And let's see what happens. Ed comes out in the full house. He knows the power of the blocking there. Makes him a 6'6", in the interior. Scott has a 5 right inside linebacker against the run, and a 4 left inside linebacker against the run. Al Powell and Carl should best step blitzing and calls pass. He dropped back to the 4-man zone. Guess right, forced incomplete on Cousins' card, and guess wrong, and they will try the short 24-yard field goal. And it's up and good. I don't like Caleb Sturgis. I'll tell you why in a minute. Kick goes 1 yard deep into the end zone, and that is not Joe Ross. Joe Ross? It's a pitcher, baseball player. Tyson Ross's brother on the Nationals. In a big regular season game against Tyke. That's a battle royale. Short pass wrong to DeAndre Hopkins, incomplete in Tannehill's guard. 115 short pass. I guess wrong for Tannehill. It's just not good. It's very bad, as a matter of fact. But you've got maxed out short pass receivers with good yardage, so Scott's going to take his chances off that. Go right to Mike. The pass is a short game and Tolbert's guard. Look at this. You know better on the off tackle wrong. That's why he's not in the blocking back. Matt Jones is the halfback. That was, I believe, the first rushing carry of the day. Inside trail 3-0. Hopkins defense gets us wrong last year or 2 years ago now. And it's a first down for Field. Even though the Texans have no quarterback last year, very much a surprise. The type of guy who could still get the numbers. Because plus they only had Brian Hoyer the year before, so if he already did it once with the back, he should be able to do at least very well. So it didn't happen though. We have a 2nd down and 10 for the Saints. Every Tolbert got nowhere. Short pass, AJ Green gets wrong. Scott almost wants the defense's card when there's 3 men there, not with 4. Juice. Drink my beverage. Wide 1 halfback. Matt Jones. 3-2-6. Short pass down to Hopkins, not being double teamed. 6 on Tannehill's guard, incomplete. He's got 12 units guessed right. Not as bad. And Brad, the Norton will come out and punt it again. This one down to the 6. Will Ed let it bounce? At that border, letting it bounce. Well, you should return it or should not return it. Ed decides to return it because I think most of the time, I think it's the 6 and out you want to return it. I looked at the chart like a month ago. But unfortunately, he gets no gain. Join the in-game game. And we have Dennis Crowley and Kurt Retzlaff. Or is the winner playing Kurt Retzlaff in this league? No, that's Samsville. That's right. Juice. So 1st and 10 for Ed from his own 6. Hightower still in there. That seems likely that no one gets his run against Hightower. Short pass to Delaney Walker. Wrong. I'll take some more time. For 14 yards at the first down. One, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21 units. Guess wrong. Excellent pass blocking. Not a lot of pass rush for this front 3. Off tackle left to Hightower defense. Guesses pass. Ed's line when he's not running, well, when he's going to run off tackle. No, it's tackle plus 8 or plus 35. I know the snake guys. That's an 8-yard gain. This time, Ian Williams made the play. Last time he showed on a white die 6. His Hightower has 7 carries. 1:48 to go in the opening quarter. Ed leads 3-0. Everyone left to Carlos Hyde. Defense calls run. Hyde's first appearance of the game. No linebackers there, and Ed pops 8 on the defense's card. And a first down. 1st and 10. The Niners at their own 40. And right to Hightower. Defense calls run. Scott needs the offense's guard. He gets it. 8 is no gain. Unsightly column. Usually the real good backs. I feel like Aaron Wright is not abysmal in the modern game. 2nd down and 10 for the Niners. 36 seconds to go in the first quarter. They lead 3-0. Dennis Crowley watching and waiting because he will meet the winner for the SSFA Super Bowl championship. Long pass Steve Smith. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Smith single covered by 5. And it's a dump off, potential interception 2-3 only. Cousins threw very interceptions. I think he did the same thing in 2016. So probably the thing to do is to piss him off by saying all kinds of nonsense in the media because, you know, he's going to be franchise tagged or being a free agent or whatever. Redskins, Daniel Snyder, jeez. Looking past, that's Delaney Walker. Defense getting past in 3rd and 10. It's a 6 there. It's a 2-yard gain of 5 in the wide die anyway, but it's going to be 4th down and 8 for Ed at zone 42. And the punt goes 51 yards down around the 10. Omar Bolton should have a good card. 9 is a 10-yard return. Bolton has a touchdown on 11. He's a 2-back. So the fumble's on 3 and the touchdown on 11. So there's opportunities for good returns. Otherwise, we saw that was a 10-yarder. There's a 10, 12-yard returns mixed in, a 16-yarder. And, of course, the big touchdown 11. We have a north tackle left to Mike Tolbert on 1st and 10. Defense calls run. But Tolbert gains 4 yards on his own card. Scott's up to the 21, 2nd and 6. You can see where Scott's defense could do a pretty good job against Ed if he doesn't just concede too many runs to Hightower. And meanwhile, flat pass right to Zach Ertz. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 7 is a 5-yard gain at Tannehill's card. Meanwhile, on the other end, Ed has not been respecting Scott's passing game too much. Scott's hit some short passing completions. Guessed wrong. The flat pass should be helpful. Linebacker Tannehill, offensive right guard +7 or +2. Clint Bowling for dollars makes the block. And it's a first down for the Saints at their own 33. But Ed has a good front 7. Flat pass left to A.J. Green. Defense gets his run. Linebacker zone extra short gain. 4 and a 4 makes a play. That's Melvin Ingram, who I think is a 5-6 next year. But not this year. And now it's 2nd and 10 for the Saints. Scott really going to use that play. Get right up towards the 50 and momentum going. Anytime you get a flat pass wrong, incomplete against a 4. But here you get a looking pass gets wrong with only one linebacker. And their receiver rating is 10 yards to Mike Tolbert. So you get a flat pass wrong with these running backs, even if they're not that great. And Tolbert's only 1926 here. Well, 1926 is a short pass split, but he's looking at 26 flat pass wrong units. The yardage is good. Well, best DeAndre Hopkins, defense double teaming elsewhere. The dump for 3 yards. So Scott's mixing up the plays nicely here. You know, he was trying to throw the short passes early, getting them guessed wrong. Wasn't working. He's run Tolbert a couple of times. Now he's started throwing the flats because Ed's not flooding them. And all of a sudden, you get 2nd down and 3 at midfield. Off tackle right to Tolbert. Defense gets the pass, one linebacker there. Linebacker zone -1 or +10. Navarro Bowman's is 6. So he's going to make that play every day of the week and twice on Sunday. If you roll it twice, because the games usually are on Sunday in the NFL. 3rd and 4 for the Saints at the 49. Another big play here. Scott's done a nice job this drive, but, you know, if he ends up punting, he's still down 3-0. Although he's winning the field position battle. You'd rather win the scoreboard battle. Off that go right to Tolbert. Defense gets the pass. Tolbert gets only 3 yards on his own card. Look at that. Oh, such a nice column to hit, and then you look at the first down. 28 out of 36 was the first down. Scott's got 4th and 1 at the 9 of 40. He's going to go for it. Dennis Crowley says, I approve of this message. I do too, even though it's risky. And Ed's so good. You worry about him guessing you correctly. I'd like to see a flat pass left here at this 4. We get a look at past AJ Green. Defender -2 +4. The defender's a good defender. Darius Slay makes the play. It was, I missed if Ed called run or pass, but it was looking past one linebacker was a 5 to AJ Green. Defender -2 +4. Darius Slay's a 6. Makes all plays. And the Saints turn it over on downs. There goes the field position advantage. He likes his chances of getting it, decided to go for it. Emin right to Hightower. 1st and 10 for Ed at his own 48. Defense calls pass. No linebacker there, so a 22-yard gain is in play. Defensive onside guard, 8 +3. Spencer Long. Offering room to be on the market. Could not make the block. He's only a 4, white die 6. It's a 3-yard gain. Second down and 7 for Ed at the Saints 49. Short pass, Anthony Fasano. Defense double teaming elsewhere. The dump off's been hurting Scott on defense. He needs a defensive stop here. And there's a completion for 13 yards and a first down on Cousins' card. He's got 14 units guessed right, 21 guessed wrong. And it's a must-run action, although I think he's weak there. So I was looking at the file earlier, and I'm like, 13, 14, short pass right, that's not so great, but this is, 5, 11, this 12, this is 14, looks pretty good. So maybe I shouldn't be so tough on that. Linebacker Tim Hightower, defense guesses wrong, no linebackers there. 7 yards in the defense's card as Hightower closing in on a 100-yard game here in the middle of the second quarter. And it's probably not to start using Hyde and Powell, because Hightower is going to be fatigued soon. And sure enough, Carlos Hyde. Charlos? I think it's a new product at Taco Bell. Carlos Hyde checks in. I think he only has 1 carry so far. 2nd down and 3 for the Niners. Linebacker to Carlos Hyde. No linebackers there. Double boxing play. Haven't seen a double box in a while. And it's only a 2-yard gain, and Hyde's card gets wrong. Hyde, by the file rankings, is one of the better cards in the set next year. I'm all pumped up for that. As we are wrapping up the spring leagues. SSFA Super Bowl coming soon to a theater near you. Thompson Super Bowl already, well, not scheduled, but the matchup's already there. And maybe it's one of the reasons Kurt's watching. Get some coaching, pick up tidbits on Ed. Because that's going to be Denver, Kurt's Denver team. Looking past to Carlos Hyde. Defense calls run, but there's a linebacker 6 there. There's a 2-yard gain on the defense. That was a white die 4. Yes, because Kurt's going to play Ed in the Psalms for Super Bowl. So he's watching the SSFA players for coaching insight or just for general interest. 1st and 10 for the Niners at the same 25. The Niners got all the way down to the 7 drive. But on 3rd and 3, they were held to an incomplete pass, I believe, and had to settle for a field goal. Flat pass right to Tim Hightower. Defense calls pass. Linebacker 5 there. And 10 and Cousins' card is a 6-yard gain. I mean, these flat pass right cards with these maxed out quarterbacks are very, very helpful to your play calling. As Dennis will learn next year with Russell Wilson maxed out flat. 2nd and 4. Except for the interception split, but I'm still going to call that maxed out. 2nd and 4 for the Niners at the Saints 19. Off that left to Carlos Hyde. Defense goes run, no one in zone. And Hyde gets 4 yards on his own card on an 11. This is a pretty solid card. I'm just surprised that he doesn't play him more than Hightower. But who might question NFL Ed? I'm the broadcaster. I question everybody. 1st and 10 for the Niners at the Saints 15. Defense showing blitz as they did the last time Ed penetrated the red zone. Hyde, 3 carries, 18 yards. Off tackle right to Hyde. One linebacker there. Defense gets his pass. And the dreaded 5, no gain. And as I said earlier, I think that's one of the reasons why Ed likes to use Hightower, is because people don't seem to respect him and call run against him. So I said, I'll put this guy in, and I can run gets wrong. I like that better than Hyde, and then they hit or miss. Although he has a good quarterback in Cousins and some decent receivers, certainly as Steve Smith and Lenny Walker. So you don't mind playing the right wrong game with weapons like that. Linebacker to Tim Hightower. Stevens calls pass, double box in play. Hightower only has 2 unfatigued carries. But instead, he gets 7 on the defense's card, 7 yards. It's deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra once said. And it's 3rd down and 3 from the New Orleans 8. So it goes full house again. This is what we saw the last time I was down here. I think it was an end run left that failed, perhaps on his last foray down here on 3rd and 3. So the same exact setup as last time. 3rd and 3 for Ed. End run left. Carlos Hyde. Defense calls run. There's a linebacker there. So this is a decent chance for Scott to stop the play. This is huge here. But no, offensive onside guard, 5-1. And James Carpenter, the New York Jet, former Seahawk, who's naturally a 5, bumped up to a 6, I believe, on the full house. Indeed he is. Makes a block. And it is 1st and goal, Niners at the Saints 3. It already leads 3-0. Can we see a tremendous goal line stand here for the Saints? Navarro Bowman trying to rally, not Navarro Bowman, Danny Trevathan trying to rally troops. Linebacker Tim Hightower. Defense calls run. Scott says get it on Hightower's guard. Center +2 or +0. That's Alex Mack, who's a 6. It's a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and goal from the 1. You have a center 6. Look, with the full out, you're going 6-6-5 from the 1-yard line. I mean, almost everything on the defense's card is a touchdown. Scott's got a right inside 5 against the run, left inside 4, so he has some hope. But resistance may be futile. Let us find out. Hightower's tired. Ed's got him in the game. 2nd and goal from the 1. Linebacker Carlos Hyde. Defense guessing run. Both men in zone. But there's the offensive center. 2-0. It's a touchdown. 9-0 Niners. They look to make it 10. I think Ed got the ball to start the game. The hated Caleb Sturgis. He missed an extra point, like 5 minutes to go in the game. I was trying to tie the game against Tyke a couple years ago, Battle Royale, in the regular season. And I was like, oh man, no. I think he was like 2-11 or something. Oh. It might have been the year I had to use Tony Romo, unfortunately. Let's take a look here at the possession. And Ed got the ball first. So Scott can get a drive here and score some points, get a drive in the second half. Bang, he could tie the game or take the lead. At some points, some points on one of these 2 possessions will be good. As the kick was a touchback. I think he missed a 7-yard play. Sometimes you get out of sync on the computer when you're watching the game or broadcasting the game, which is the same thing. Off tackle left to Mike Tolbert, 2nd and 3, gains 4 yards. Tolbert's doing well. 6 carries, 26 yards, but you got a couple of Gus Wrights in there where he's gained some yardage. As we're going to approach the 2-minute warning, Scott deciding whether to take a timeout on this side or not. Doesn't want to give Ed any time in case he fails, and Ed's been tough. He decides to let it run to the 2-minute warning. He's got all 3 timeouts here. Matt Jones and Mike Tolbert, right? Yeah, Mike Tolbert. In the backfield. 1st and 10. A flat pass. You get out of bounds. You get 6 or 7 yards. It's not a bad play. Off tackle right to Tolbert. No linebackers there. Offensive onside guard 7-2. That's Clint Bowling again. Every now and then you get one of those halves where the same guard makes like 3 or 4 blocks. So it's interesting. I've noticed that in some of these games lately. Out of nowhere, suddenly it's with a blocking back. That one game, Rhett Ellison kept missing all the blocks for the guy. Looks like Scott would hurry up there. So time is a factor. 2nd and 3 from his own 38, 1:37 to go. This could be a big drive for Scott. We got a long pass Zach Ertz. Stevens double teaming elsewhere. Ertz covered by a 4. So that was a dangerous defensive call for Ed. And Scott playing aggressive with Ed calling run a little bit earlier in the drive. And, a decent gamble. Certainly you're down 10-0. And you end up with a long pass, no men, with your guy covered by a 4. That's not a bad opportunity. Instead, now we have flat pass left to Zach Ertz, but 2 men there, and it's incomplete. Scott's going to have to punt it, and I see why he can call those timeouts. And it would have been a first down if Ed did not flood the zone, because it was linebacker in zone 5 versus 4. 50-yard punt to Brad Nortman, down to the 22 for Keith Mumphrey. And Mumphrey signals for the fair catch. So Ed's got the ball first and 10 on his own 12. It's interesting that 4th and 1 for Scott, and Ed's 48. I'd normally like to go for it with defensive nothing. And he paid the price. I think that's what led to Ed's touchdown, was that drive. So interesting. Sometimes you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I never have a problem going for it there. I maybe would have considered punting a little more than usual. Short pass to Delaney Walker. He's being double teamed, but it's complete for 11 yards and a first down and Cousins' card. Depends on the matchup too and my personnel. I mean, by default, I'll go for it there. I probably still would have gone for it. Probably at least 70%. I maybe would have thought about going for it, about punting a little bit, but probably still would have gone for it. Interesting. And in this case, it didn't pay off. But hey, who knows? If he got the completion, maybe he scores a touchdown there. It's a whole different game. Off tackle left to Carlos Hyde. No linebackers there. Defense calling pass. Nose tackle makes a play. It's a 4-yard gain. So Ed's at his own 27. And I noticed this in one of his other playoff games, that last minute of the half, he's not getting his own end. Even with timeouts, he prefers to kind of let the clock run out. Doesn't want to take any chances. And sure enough, he could have called timeout there, could have done a hurry up there, and run a play, but instead he takes a knee. With doesn't call timeout and then takes a knee, and we're going to go to the second half in this briskly paced SSFA semifinal. Ed's Niners leading Scott's Saints 10-0, and Ed takes a 2-minute break every halftime. We now know. Presumably that is to go check on the tee and make sure it's good. Replenish for the second half. And this is where, in a very unprofessional manner, I check the Strat-O-Matic form. Ratings file out today. A lot of good stuff on there. Dak Prescott's card. Pretty darn good. I think even a little better than we were expecting. Ezekiel Elliott's card pretty good, maybe a little worse. And I see team defensive tab. New England LP1 int equals 216. Let's see, 36 times 6 should be 196. Plus an extra 20. Maybe they have an extra interception. Maybe they have interception on 12 would be 36 units, so then you'd be left with 180 for the rest of the card, which would be like 30 out of 36. 356. That would be a 2-9. So maybe they've got a long pass 1-man interception 2-9 on a 7 with a clean pick on a 12. He says no. He said it's no men. He said Napa Ram. I'm not sure who that is. This was for Kansas City with no men, and the Patriots with 1 man. I don't think even the 63 Bears had, or one of those early 70s Steelers teams with all their picks. Had a double interception. Cardinal Jones got traded to the Chargers. from Buffalo. Had a new regime in Buffalo. Had an extra pick with no men. I could be wrong, especially if you go back to those 60s and early 70s teams. I'm sure they're going to start the game before we get a chance to look at this. But let's see who the NFL leaders were. In defensive interceptions, certainly nothing here that makes you think that the Patriots and Chargers really 18 interceptions led the entire NFL last year. It shows you what a different era we're in. 18 defensive interceptions, that's it? So, more than likely, some type of typo. The Patriots only had 13. That's the middle of the NFL now. 13 interceptions as a team. They got a team like the Jets and Jacksonville, 7 or 8 for the year. It's amazing. And here's the second half kick. And it's Jay Ross. Again, not returning it. Of course, he may be the fictional two-back. Omar Bolden was down there. So the Saints come out after the touchback, and Spencer Ware checks in. Now you've got Ware and Tolbert to deal with. Long pass to Andrew Hopkins. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Dump off complete for 13 yards. So it could be a different half. It's a different half for the Saints on the offensive side of the ball. Right, you suddenly plug in one of the best running cards in the set for a good 11 to 12 carries. 12 carries. Unfatigued. Tolbert still got some to go. Now you're playing with all aspects of your team. Looking past to Mike Tolbert and picked off 2 to 4, 11 12. It's a 1-yard completion and gets past him, brought a linebacker up. Scott's pretty glad that linebacker did not stay home. It's calling a lot of passes this evening. 4:53 on the West Coast. 2nd and 9. Short pass, Zach Ertz being double teamed. 12 is incomplete. We all know this happens sometimes. You bring in a good running back and he's going to call run and I throw it. So we've seen throw. Now we might see punt. Because it's 3rd and 9 for the Saints at their own 34. That 12 is incomplete, right, wrong, and double teamed. Yeah, I'd like to go dime 3-2-6. We've seen with this team. We saw it against Kansas City in the quarterfinal. And now against the Saints here in the semifinal on 3rd and long. And it's a flat pass left to DeAndre Hopkins, defender +2 +5. He's covered by a 6. Stephon Gilmore, he's covered by a 5, rather. Stephon Gilmore, so it's only a 2-yard completion. And Scott will punt it after the conservative play call. The punt goes 48 yards down inside the 20 to Keith Mumphrey. And Mumphrey signals for a fair catch. That'll take over. It's 10-0. Scott's defense hasn't done too badly. His offense has to get going. But this is a key drive. You can't give up, an 84-yard drive for a touchdown here and fall behind 7-0. So Scott's got to play. He's got to bear down, play good defense in this very drive, get the ball back. Right here in business. You got to make the guy sweat a little bit here. And his defense has played okay. Carlos Hyde in there, but now he's going to have a second half surprise as well. One pass to Malcolm Floyd. There's a man there, but there's only a 4. Floyd covered by a 5. Scott's got a good pass defense cards. Receiver gets right incomplete on Floyd. It's a veteran deep play threat. 6, 9, 11, 12, 15, 21. Maxed out on the bomb. So you got to watch out for that. Maybe some double action on 2nd and 10. We'll see. But as I said, Ed's got a different running game himself in the second half. Bilal Powell checks in. Much better card than Hightower, and Carlos Hyde gets you more often. There's a double long pass, double bomb, whatever. Long pass to Malcolm Floyd gets wrong, but the defense's card 4-5-11, a clean incomplete pass with one man in zone, and that was a 5 in the white die. The free safety is only a 4, so that was pretty dangerous for Scott. At least he had a guy back there. Long game with no man. You hate to call run and vacate the long pass zone, in my view. I used to do that all the time. Just a couple years ago. And lately I've been like, Maybe watching some of these other guys play a little more bend but don't break style of defense. Looking past Anthony Fasano. Defense gets the pass to double teaming elsewhere. Fasano is being double teamed by Marcus Gilchrist, the safety. So Scott covering himself well there. He vacated the looking pass. Could have been guessed wrong. Would have been short of a first down anyway, but saves the 8 yards of real estate. But he double teamed Fasano and was in good shape there. The punt is 46 yards. And it's Jeremy Ross. I knew it wasn't Joe Ross. Jeremy Ross signaling for the fair catch for the Saints at their own 38. They've got decent field position here to start this possession. Early third quarter, still plenty of time. Saints are down 10-0. They need to get points on the board. We all know what a good defensive coach Ed is. Long pass Zach Ertz. Stevens double teaming elsewhere. Go by 4. Dump off complete for 7 yards. Scott's going, I think, a little too all or nothing. It's only a 5-yard dump off. Because Spencer Ware, even though he can run the ball for 43 yards on a stink eyes with no off tackle, apparently can't catch it from more than 5. It's asking too much. He ran into a divot in the field, and he's tackled for a 5-yard loss. 2nd and 5 for the Saints at their own 43. How could you expect Spencer Ware to get at least 7 yards? It's just not possible. 7 yards that's a lot of yardage. It's one more than 6. But I like to see Scott Lopez Eckert again. He goes double. Defender, it's a long gains complete. 32-yard completion for, what do I know? I'm telling him, you're being too aggressive. He says, screw that. Double. Not double bomb. Back-to-back bomb. I keep saying double. And the white die 6. Again, he gets Ed, not covering Ertz deep. And this time makes him pay range, but he doesn't want to settle for a field goal. 1st and 10 for the Saints at the San Francisco 25. Flat pass right to Tolbert. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Receiving us right incomplete. We have not seen him run the ball, I think, this half. He's got, and I can't remember where I know he's not run the ball. 2nd down and 10 for the Saints at the San Fran 25. I don't think Tannehill's interceptions are too bad on the card this year. Short pass, A.J. Green. Defense gets the pass. 3-minute zone. Incomplete. It's 2-6 and 12. Guess right for Tannehill on an 11. That's not too bad for a modern quarterback. It's okay. I mean, you can get picked, but it's not real bad. It's not, Haldy turnover prone, that's for sure. Of course, the thrills and chills would tell you that Aaron Rodgers has it on a 12 next year, which somebody had a year or two ago. Maybe it's Tom Brady has it on a 12 next year, which somebody had a couple years ago. 3rd and 10 for the Saints at the San Fran 25. 3 wide, 1 halfback, diamond, 3-2-6. That's what we keep seeing. Short pass, Robert Woods. No, he's not being double teamed. Picked off 2-6 and 12. The defense picked off by Ed on the 9. He had 4-minute zone. And let's see what kind of return he gets from his own 10. And the return is about 12 yards. It looks like 10 yards by Jimmy Ward, the former first-round pick of the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL. And Scott is not going to come away with points. After hitting the bomb and getting down to Ed's 25. Oh, you're down 10-0 in late third quarter. That kills you so much. 2-10 for the field goal. He has Justin Tucker. And disgusted spectator leaves. User dropped. Short pass to Malcolm Floyd. Defense calls pass. 4 men there. Scott says, how about turnabout being fair play? Picked off 2-6 and 12, but incomplete on the 9. Oh, my stars and garters. Going on out there. I had a chance right there. I threw the pick, and then I get the 2-6 and 12, and I don't get it. Needed that one. Second out of 10, but you got to play defense. It's not going your way, but you're not out of it. You're only down by 10 points, and it's early in the third quarter. And this Ed's offense is hardly lighting it up. Off tackle right to Bilal Powell. No linebackers there, and Powell's a good card. But 4 is only 2 yards. The dreaded 4, where I rarely say, but it is there. And it's 3rd down and 8 for the commissioner, almost midway through the third quarter. He leads 10-0 for his own 22. I mean, it's in a close game like this, and you only need 1 score to get back in it. Every play is big. These 3rd downs are big. 3rd and 8. Cousins has been hot and cold. Long pass T. Smith. 1 man there, but the safety's a 4. Covered by 5. Defense guesses correctly, of course, on 3rd and long. And receiver gets right, incomplete. Smith is also 15-21. Ed has 2 maxed out bomb receivers, which is a waste because Ed doesn't really throw them any bombs. They should be on Nathan's team. And Ed's going to punt it from his own 22. The punt is only 37 yards. So at the 41, Jeremy Ross has a chance to field it. They get snake eyes, 22 yards, a good return by Ross. So you end up with only a 15-yard net punt. And Scott's going to take over 1st and 10 at Ed's 37. Midway through the 3rd quarter for reals. Michael Reeves joins the broadcast. The audience, well, you know what I mean. 1st and 10. Short pass to Andrew Hopkins. Dump off for 5 yards. Scott's offensive coordinator saying, "Thou shalt not run." I think he's passed every single quarter. Even I am not in favor of that strategy in this matchup. Because Ed's calling pass every single play. There you go. Off tackle right for Spencer Ware. Offensive onside guard, 7-2. Clint Bowling Green could not make the block that time. Makes it 3rd and 3. But at least you ran the ball, and at least you showed the guy you're willing to run the ball. You got Ware and Tolbert back there. Is it too much to ask for a carry? You got one now. 3rd and 3 from the 30. 6:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. Saints down 10-0. Off tackle left to Ware. I like it. Nobody there. Offensive onside tackle 8-3. Riley Reef, the stiff on my Samifa team, could not make the block. He was actually a 5. Vikings signed him. Way more than he should get, so good luck to Sam Bradford. But it's still a 1st down, despite the missed block. So off tackle left to Spencer Ware gets right to 2-yard gain. That doesn't mean he should go the other way and run every single play now. Perhaps some diversity. Perhaps a little mixing it up there, Scott, in the 3rd quarter. You passed the first half of the quarter, and now he'll run the 2nd half. I'm sure that's not the game plan. 2nd and 8 for Scott at the San Fran 25. Short pass, Zach Ertz. 4 men there. Defense gets this wrong. Play action is successful. 10 yards and a 1st down to Ertz at the San Francisco 15. The New Orleans Saints 12-4. Trying to get in the end zone here and close it to a field goal game against the commissioner, Ed Barrow. Or at least get some kind of score. Scott turned it over. Interception on 3rd and long on the defense's call last time down here, but then held and got a 15-yard net punt to get back into the red zone quickly. Pro set again for Scott because Mike Tolbert can run the ball. I'd like to see him do it. Looking past A.J. Green, gets wrong. Receiver gets wrong, 11 yards and a 1st down at the 4-yard line. So I've been calling for some more flat passes here for Scott. Running some flat passing. It says, "Tom, what about the 32-yard bomb I hit to Zach Ertz before when you told me to be more conservative?" Let's overlook that for now. Full house from our backfield. And this is a dangerous full house because he's got a fullback that can run it. You got Spencer Ware, Mike Tolbert, and Matt Jones. Tannehill, the quarterback, 6'5", up the middle. Ed's got 0-4 right inside. And Navarro Bowman is a 6. Run line book 3 times in a row. Don't run off tackle. Off tackle right, +4, touchdown, Spencer Ware. Only because of the 2-minute zone of the defense, you get good for -2 and things like that. So I fear running off tackle in some of those spots against a 3-4. But Spencer Ware with the 3 or 4 yard touchdown run, the 4-yard touchdown run, and suddenly Scott's right back in the game, 10-7. 3:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. Can Scott make the Super Bowl with this team, beating NFL Ed in the semifinals? Oh, my stars and garters, we're going to find out. This is not an explosive offense for the commissioner. I mean, he's got the weapons on the outside, but, Ed likes to run the ball, and I don't see Adrian Peterson back there. So, it's going to be, there's a long pass to Steve Smith. Guess wrong. 3 safeties of 4. Smith is maxed out. Just as I said, he likes to be conservative. 7 guess wrong is incomplete. 379, only 10 units on Cousins' card. Next year's got 15. Tied for most of the set with, dare I say it, with Matt, I think it's 3 guys, Matt Ryan and Big Ben. Matt Ryan's got 15. I think Cousins has 15 and Big Ben has 15. I don't think anyone's got, I think Brady leads this year with 14. Looking past Bilal Powell, defense calls run, nobody there. This is bad news for the defense. It would be a horrible roll for Ed if it didn't work out, and he gets a bad roll. Interception split 2 or +2. So it's not intercepted, big deal, 1 in 36. But it's only a 2-yard gain on a looking pass wrong, no meant with Kirk Cousins. That's a bad break for the commissioner. Scott says, "I'll take it." 3rd and 8 for Ed at his own 23. 3 wide, 1 fullback. That's Anthony Fasano. I'd like to throw to those guys. It'll be too obvious in blitz. Mac, we'll see what happens. I think I saw Ed throw a looking pass here against Scott earlier in the game. And we see a short pass Malcolm Floyd. Gilchrist with a true double team. Dump off is maybe the only thing that can kill the Saints here, prevent them from getting the ball back. Instead, it's incomplete on the defense's card with 4-minute zone. Against those good defense card, Ed's going to have to punt it again from his zone 23. Matt Bosher has a block on 12. 46-yard punt goes down towards the 30-yard line. Jeremy Ross returns it for 12 yards. Not the opponent department turn coverage for the commissioner, 10, 12, and 8 with a block on 12. So a lot of things can happen there that you don't like if you're kicking it away. And Scott's going to start from his own 43. 1:48 to go in the third quarter. Scott is a SOMIFA champion. He has built up this team over the last 4 years. Left tackle right, Spencer Ware gets wrong. Short gain, 17 yards into San Francisco territory. They're at the 40. This Ware card with the most dreaded of fives because that 2 to 7 is all short gain or better. Otherwise. And it's 1st and 10 for Scott at the commissioner's 40-yard line. 1:12 to go. The commissioner needs the bat phone. Off tackle right for Spencer Ware gets wrong again. Nose tackle -1 or +3. Benny Logan makes the play. He's a 5, beating a 4 on the roll. 2nd and 11. Ware's got 6 on fatigue carries left. And the tension is, the pressure is picking up. The tension, the drama is what we're looking for. The drama is intensifying as we are getting ready to conclude the third quarter. Short pass gets wrong to A.J. Green. Receiver +13, first down. You get Green and Hopkins on the outside. And you can see why Ertz is getting single coverage a lot. And Scott had very good stats passing to these guys during the regular season. So the max receivers have made a difference for him all year long. Looking past A.J. Green, defense calls run. 2 men there, though. A 2-yard gain. Still, Scott will take it under those circumstances. 2nd and 8, we're in the fourth quarter. Defensive matchup. But Scott's offense has been picking it up here in the second half. He trails 10-7. Mueller, anyone? Ware and Tolbert. I haven't seen Tolbert carry the ball in a while. Off tackle left to Spencer Ware. Defense calls run, and it's a -1. So Ware pushed back, making it 3rd and 9. Justin Tucker's the kicker. From about here, he was 2 to 10. So he had a good chance to tie the game. Do not get sacked. Do not collect $200. I would like to see him go block it back here occasionally, threaten a draw. You can run a draw from the 3 wide and kill yourself in the white die. A waste to carry with Spencer Ware. It could work, but I'm not a big fan of it. In this case, maybe because of the field goal. Looking past A.J. Green. Receiver gets right, 12 yards and a first down. Ed brought up the free safety 4, or defensive back 4, into the look, and I think he was double teaming elsewhere. But he was not double teaming A.J. Green. He was covered by a 6. Cannot lose yards on the looking. Got in terms of doing something safe that's not going to get sacked, and it gives you a chance at a first down, and he hit that chance. Flat pass right from Mike Talbot, complete for 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Saints at the commissioner's 12-yard line. Can he do it? I mean, these teams are pretty close in personnel. I'm not talking about an upset. I'm just saying everyone knows Ed. Not everyone realizes that Scott's a pretty damn good coach. Flat pass right to Mike Tolbert. Receiver gets right -5. Went to the well once too often with Tolbert, the burly fullback. And he's pushed back to the 17-yard line. And this went from looking like a touchdown drive to a field goal drive on that one. It was a 3 out of 10 sack chance. 1 to 31, but the random 94 came in as Rashad Jones was free safety blitzing. 3rd and 12. Does he have another one up his sleeve? He again goes 3 wide, 1 halfback. Now inside the 20, of course, commissioner can't go draw, can't go dime. It's a draw play to Spencer Ware, wasting one of his carries. Bringing somebody off the bench next time. And the field goal attempt is up and good, 2 to 10. We have a tie game. 10-10. 11:06 to go. We're in the fourth quarter. Dennis Crowley wondering, who am I going to face? Ed Barrow or Scott Mueller? I got to email Scott and ask for a pronunciation of his last name. The audience has not expanded, even though they should, because this game is certainly worthy of it. Carlos Hyde, the running back. 2 tights, 2 wides, 1 running back for Ed, as he's played all game. 10-10, 1st and 10 from his own 20. Linebacker Carlos Hyde, 1 linebacker there. Defense calls pass. Hyde's got a fine card. No tackle +2 or +5. Ian Williams couldn't make the plays. Had a bit of a tough evening. And a 2nd and 5 for the commissioner at his own 25. It feels like forever since Ed had the ball and did anything with it. Maybe got to go back to the first half. Hyde's got 7 carries, 33 yards. Well, take a right to Hyde. Defense calls run with linebacker there. So Scott, good call there. See if he gets a good result. It's +3 on the defense. But that's +11 with nobody in there. So it's a big 8-yard difference there. And no first down. So 3rd and 2 for the commissioner at his own 28. So I'll tell you, it's been a nice, balanced job by both of these guys. Both defenses, I was going to say particularly. 3rd and 2 for Ed at his own 28. Carlos Hyde is the running back. Alex Max is 6th at center and likes to get behind his good blockers. Long pass, defense fifth again. There's one man there. Defense guesses correctly. Proceeds to the 4. Ed did not hit this. And 7 on Cousins' guard is incomplete. No penalty on the play. Thank God. So Matt Bosch will come out to punt. And this has not gone too well for Ed. Maybe it can be the turnaround, make it a fumble. 51-yard punt down to the 21. Omar Bolden's got a great return card, I believe. He's the 2-back. We haven't seen him yet on the punt. And my game crashes. Oh, my God. That's how good of a card he has. My game can handle it. Oh, what a time for it. Dennis, see if you can text me or tell me if they crashed in game. I'm just curious. Or this is strictly Tom Cook related. Inquiring minds want to go. And it looks like this was on our end. And yeah, the Saints have got the ball at his own 32. So it looks like that was probably a fair catch or something like that, I think. Or I don't know. Who cares? 1st and 10 for. Oh, it was a fumble. My game crashed on the turnover. Linebacker Carlos Hyde, he fumbled the punt. Ned's got the ball at the Saints 32. Linebacker Carlos Hyde, no linebackers there. Double box in play. Shokin and Hyde cover 17 yards. And a first down. Ed gets the turnover on the, oh, Jesus. Punt return fumble. After his offense has done nothing this half. And Scott says, are you kidding me? Now I got to play defense. I was at the 15. 8:24 to go in the game to make the Super Bowl. Bad time for a terrible roll. And we're left to Carlos Hyde. Defense calls pass. Hyde's got a good card. Offensive onside end +9 or +4. Anthony Fasano is a white die 4. He's a 4 rather. White die 5. Could not make the play. 2nd down and 6. Second down and 6 for the Niners. Short pass, Anthony Fasano. 4 men there. Defense calls run. We need a white die. We need the defense's 9 is what Scott's looking for. But you get a 5 touchdown on Kirk Cousins' card. Very strong card. Bradley Miller looking to talk to me. Bradley, I'm broadcasting a big game here. The extra point by Sturgis is good. And Ed takes a 17-10 lead following the punt return fumble. Omar Bolden going to return. He's the 2-back, so it's Joe Ross. It is Omar Bolden. Going to return it from the goal line. Only gets 14 yards. And the Saints will have 1st and 10. What a heartbreaker that is. Oh, but you're scratching, claw your way back to tie the game. Left tackle left Spencer Ware. Nose tackle +4, +9. Benny Logan makes the play. 2nd down and 6. Ware is only 2 more unfatigued carries. But there's not a lot of time left. 6:36 to go. 2nd down and 6. Scott trailing 17-10. He tied the game up and then fumbles the punt at his own 32. Oh, that is so difficult. Flat left DeAndre Hopkins. Defense double teaming Hopkins. And an 8 is incomplete. On Tannehill's card, as our audience grows by 1, as I can tell by my volume being adjusted. That's Dennis Crowley.
Hey, what's up? I just decided to jump on here to to finish out this game with you, if that's okay. I'll be your color commentator.
That's fine. The game's almost over. Watching the whole time?
I had it on my. I left it on my work machine. I had to go. So.
All right, third and 6. Short pass, Zach Ertz. Not being double teamed. Scott's at his own 18. He needs his first down badly. Gets a dump off for 10 yards. Yes. That is, it was 10-0 Ed, and then Scott clawed back to tie it up at 10 early in the fourth quarter. It's not a first down. Spencer Ware cannot go more than 5 yards.
Oh, my goodness.
It was 3rd down and 8. He got a dump off for 10 yards, but the second time we saw that, first time, 3rd down, Spencer Ware, Dennis, it's very hard to run for more than 5 yards. When you catch the ball in the NFL, Spencer Ware shows.
Fall down, Spencer. Fall down, Spencer.
Even though he will have long pass completions on his card next year, he somehow could knock him more than 5 yards this year. And Scott punted on 4th and 1. Anyway, Dennis, Scott clawed back to make it 10-10 early in the fourth quarter. Ed had to punt it, and at his own 32, the score tied at 10, about 9.5 minutes to go, Scott fumbled the punt. And Ed went about 2 or 3 plays for a touchdown to take the lead. And then I don't know why he keeps Spencer Ware in the game on 3rd and long. The second time he did that. And plus he's going to a 3 wide, which he's not going to run from. Mike Tolbert is a better option. 17-10 linebacker Carlos Hyde from his own 28, but cost him a first down right there. Nose tackle on the first down with 5 minutes to go in the game. Early in the game, he had a catch that would have gone for 7 yards where that only went for 5. So if he has the text on, he already read that once in the game.
Yeah,
you're in a close game. Any one play can screw you. And he still had the ball. Now he's trying to play defense. And the clock's a factor. Linebacker Carlos Hyde, defense calls run. 2 linebackers there, 4:48 to go. And it's a 2-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd down and 7. A huge 3rd down here. Ed's leading 17-10. Scott has to get this stop.
Brings him.
Scott's been good. He's been good on these third. Yep, Scott's been good on these 3rd downs. The defense is half, but that just tells you that Ed is due. One pass, Malcolm Floyd. Floyd is single coming by 5. There's no linebackers there. Ed's been throwing long passes and not hitting anything.
He did this time.
Gain to the 6 of the white dice. Complete to Malcolm Floyd for huge yardage. A 58-yard gain. Devon House in single coverage was a 5. The white dice 6 beats him. And there was nothing that Scott could have done outside of a successful double team there. Because the 1 man zone is...
Yeah, he with all the bombs Ed's throwing, I guess you could have said he could have pulled the guy back and left you in the zone. But
he could have. But 3rd and 8. I mean, Ed has maybe thrown 1 bomb in the 3rd and 1, perhaps. Saying on other downs, he's thrown a lot of bombs. So, but that's probably the game.
That's a ball breaker right there, backbreaker.
Yep, it's a backbreaker that also hurts you in your lower regions. 17-10 for the Niners. The Saints 11, 3:36 to go. Linebacker Carlos Hyde, short yardage defense. But Scott, no gain. He knows.
The only thing that can hurt Ed here is an interception. So he's just going to run it 3 times and kick a field goal.
Wow, snap fumble check. Cousins 5.2. That was a 6.
Oof.
Yeah. Ed's backs are extremely low fumble. But it can still happen. I mean, we've seen snap fumbles on a guy who's a 1.0. So, but yeah, barring a fumble, off that right, Carlos Hyde, even if you can stay short yardage, 2-yard gain for Hyde. You can run, but you can't hide, or you can run with Hyde. The clock will be down to 2:42. What a backbreaker! I mean, because that is only about 10 minutes ago in real time.
Yeah, you
understand. I mean, Scott came back to tie the game at 10. And was forced to punt 9.5 minutes to go, and he fumbles the punt.
Yeah,
and then it goes in. It goes like 2 short gains in a row. Bang, touchdown, and 17-10. It hurts.
Ed's going to run again because you get up 2 scores here with 2 minutes left. It's pretty much over.
Yes. Even though he has 2 tired backs in the backfield.
I think he does have that kick returner with a touchdown on 11.
That's the 2-back, Omar Bolden, who fumbled the punt. Or it's not going right for Hightower. And it's a 2-yard gain. And out comes Caleb Sturgis, so he can block the field goal. Good luck. We have seen more than a share of blocked field goals from up close, I would say. But
true.
That was good. 2-10. It was 2-11. 20-10. 152 to go. Desperation time for the Saints. This is such a shame that you hate to see that extremely unlikely turnover or the punt or kick return fumble. When it's the fourth quarter, the game's on the line. I just got back into it. I tied it. 9.5 minutes to go. Rah rah rah. Oh, punt return fumble on 32.
Yeah,
and the guy catches in for a touchdown.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to that 4th and 1 where Spencer Ware couldn't go. The extra 5 yards that the dump off give. Why not go for it there on 4th and 1? Even though it's there's 5:42 to go in the game, you miss it and you lose too. But at least you give yourself a shot there.
Yeah, well, I guess he felt like I can't blame him. His defense has been playing great. In the second half. Well, Mr. Robert Woods, and I said the 2-10. This will probably be the game. Ed picks it off. I'm sure he won't even bother with the return. Does not. And that's probably going to be a game. It's going to be NFL Ed against Dennis Crowley, barring a Herman Edwards situation.
So Ed is vying to be the king of spring, winning SSFA and SOMSFA in the same season.
Really hasn't won any yet. So let's not go.
It's over. It's over. He's not even calling timeout.
Let's not. No, you said winning it. I'm talking about winning it, not making it.
No, I said he's vying to be the king of spring. So he has a chance.
Yes.
Got a chance to be.
Yes, he is. I agree. I agree that he's vying. He is definitely vying. But let's not count. Let's not fry our chickens before they're defeathered.
Yeah, I think if you look at Ed's record in championship games, he's something like 17-5. So he's had a lot of chicken dinners. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, and these guys both coached a real good game. No, I mean, I don't have a problem. It's got punting it there, and also he got burned in the first half. Early second quarter, I think he went for 4th and 1. Ed's 48, and he didn't get it. And Ed turned that into a touchdown to take the 10-0 lead. And I think Scott might have been regretting that later on because his defense played real well.
Right.
And sort of feeling, man, I gave Ed great field position. And it hurt me. And there was 5:42 to go, and his defense had played great in the second half. And I said, you know what? Here's my choices. I can punt it. And as long as I stop him from scoring, I'm going to get the ball back with a chance to tie. Or I can go for it, and if I miss it, the game's probably over right here. So I don't have a problem with him doing that in this matchup. I don't know why Spencer Ware is in the game. Like you said, those little things.
Yep.
You get like 60 plays a game.
Yeah,
like 60 plays a game or something like that. So and every time you mess up, it's like 1.5 to a 1.7 additional chance at defeat. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he had to see early in the game. He had to see early in the game that Spencer Ware was capped on the dump off. Had that same cap. Strat needs to change that rule that you can't go more than five yards. Really? What? I mean, come on. What NFL player? I mean, for Christ's sake, they throw goal line passes to offensive linemen. That would be 5-yard completions from scrimmage or whatever. It's crazy that you have a running back in the NFL, that you have a skilled player in the NFL that you tell me can't go for 10 or even 15 yards. And they should, they should make it that everyone can go for 15 yards. So if you do play with that rule, it's asinine that Spencer Ware he can catch long passes next year. 7 yards.
Yeah, it is a little ridiculous.
That's ludicrous. Now I what it is. Ed's got Carlos Dunlap, his pass rusher, and Scott doesn't want to have a 0 on the asterisk. That makes sense. You hear me, Dennis?
Yeah. So yeah, you got to have the better pass blocker in there.
Absolutely. But can Matt Jones catch the ball at all?
I think you got to stick with Tolbert. Isn't he a 5 pass blocker?
No. I'm saying that's why Ware was in there. Tolbert's a 6-0. Tolbert's a 0 pass blocker.
Oh, I missed that. He's been a 6'5" in the past. So who else does he have on his roster? It's got to have somebody.
Well, I said he's got Matt Jones, so let me see what he can do in terms of receiving.
He's a 0'4" at least.
Yeah, he had 19 catches for 204 yards, so the longest of 78 and a dot. So, geez, you might tell me. Yeah, so that would have been the guy.
Yeah, he can catch a short pass too. So if you don't have a reason, if you're not trying to trick the defense into thinking you're running, then there's no reason for Ware to be in there. If he's just in there in a 3 wide set, that's you got to have Matt Jones in there for the 3 wide.
Yeah, well, let me ask this, because usually on 3rd and 8 or 9, you're not going to go. Usually not going to run a draw from a 3 wide because of the wide die penalty. Do you agree? Disagree?
Agree. If I'm going to go, if I want people to think I'm running, or if I'm really going to run, I'm going to go 2 tight end or blocking back halfback.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, because I know that because you're very successful at doing some of those draw plays on 3rd and 8 or whatever. But yeah, I think most people say I'm not going to do it from a 3 wide. You go 3 wide and leave Spencer Ware in there. I'm not sure who you're fooling. So, but I don't know. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Maybe he's like, I want him to respect the threat of the run. I don't want him to 100% know I'm not running it because Matt Jones is in the game, which I can understand. But again, but those little things. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know. That's what he's thinking. But those little things will hurt you because like you see. I mean. People talk about what it takes to win a championship and this and that. One of the things you got to try to do is not take plays off. And then we all do it. You get lazy, you click, you feel a rhythm, whatever. You just get, or you get annoyed, so you click, you quick click or whatever.
Right.
But we see, look, you had a game that was you're losing 17-10. There's 5.5 minutes left. You're trying to make the Super Bowl. And the only reason you can get a first down is because you left a guy in the game who literally could not get a first down. And the same thing had happened earlier in the game. So you even warned by Strat-O-Matic, hey, I'm warning you here in the first half that you have this guy who cannot get you a first down in this spot, and you leave him in the same spot in the second half, and you don't get a first down, 5.5 minutes left in the semifinal, and you lose. Now maybe you would have lost anyway. And Scott, look, Scott, if you're listening, I'm not trying to pick on you. We know Scott pretty well. And that's the thing, we know a lot of these guys pretty well. So a lot of guys tell me, "No, be honest. I want to hear what you really think." But so and Scott did a really good job. They both did a really good job this game. Scott, especially on defense, I liked Scott's job, and his offensive play call in the second half was really good. And started getting it off balance. But those little things, like you said, you got to play the text on. Try to make details on the text on, and if you see something. Like Spencer Ware cannot go for more than 5 yards, happened in the first half. So I'm not going to do that to myself again, unless he wanted the threat of the draw, which I guess is reasonable, I guess. But to me, I see a guy in a 3 wide, on 3rd and 8 or 9. I say, look, if he beats me on a draw here, when you got the white die penalty going against him, and a reduced offensive line, and I've got a nose tackle 5, which I think Ed had. I said, well, hats off to you, congratulations, because you got to roll like an 8 of my card, or or a 2 or 3 or 3 on the white die and get a good roll. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it was just also just a shame because it's just a stupid rule, and also a shame because he just fumbled the punt and he did such a great job clawing back into the game. Coach so good the whole game overall. I just hated to see the guy have that happen to him. And you're like, oh, and he could have avoided it. So I guess maybe that's where this is coming from. But Scott did a great job. Look, this was by no stretch of the imagination a dominant personnel team that should go 12-4.
For who?
Come on,
for Scott?
Yeah, this team was 12-4.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
no, I know he's got great skills, great skill weapons. I know
that's it. That's the thing.
Green and Ertz.
No, that's the skill positions is really what sets his offense apart. But even with that, he doesn't have enough carries to run 30 times a game. Although I thought he ran a little bit too few carries today. He only had 18 runs compared to 34 or 35 attempts from Tannehill. So with those weapons, I think he was trying to threaten them too much and not actually use them.
Yeah, he seemed like he was running running a fair amount early, and then he kind of got. He went into Tom Cook mode. He got a little pass happy there for about 2 quarters.
And that's easy to do. I mean, I did that in my SSFA game. I should have ran more. That's just part of the nature of the beast. You want to get those. You want to get to the first down. Oh my God, it's 2nd and 10. I got to get a first down. You can do that with a short pass. Oh my God, it's 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 3. He's going to call run. I better pass it. And then he calls pass. You know what I mean? Like you get into those kind of things.
Yeah, because Tolman's got a good card too. He's just a pretty solid defense. I mean, he's got pretty good personnel, but it's still a team that you look at the team and you say, I got to really coach this team to 12-4.
And another thing that
it's not like he had Marshall Lynch or something like a couple of years ago.
Go back to his defense. This is the thing that kind of bugged me a little bit. You got Khalil Mack.
I know what it is.
Why are you playing him as a starting outside linebacker? Make a trade and get a 4-5 and put him on the defensive line. Mike Daniels, see ya, go to the bench. Even on 3rd downs, he didn't bring him in. He didn't bring him up to the line. You have a 6-12, and you're not getting a pass rush chance with him as often as you could.
Well, I think he felt like, I don't have to make any trades. And I can go 5-5-5 in a line, and if I play Mac at defensive end, I got to pick up a 44. You're probably right, Dennis. You're probably right. I mean, I can see from an asset standpoint, like I can see my own mentality. Oh well, this is already pretty decent. I think you're making the right call, but I probably would have done the same thing Scott did, and I probably would have been equally incorrect. Because I'm cheap, Dennis. I'm cheap and I'm stingy. I'm going to tell myself, well, this isn't too bad, and I don't have to trade anything for it. But you're right. If you can pick up an outside 44, whatever. And plus, you always have the option of putting Mac back out there if you're having problems.
Yeah, and even if you didn't make a trade, fine. This is your personnel. You don't want to pay anything. There's still containments is pretty good with a 5. Bring Devon Kennard in, and put Mac on the line. I don't know how this lines up. I'm pretty sure that Mac was covering the fullback here, right? The right outside linebacker covers the fullback.
No, right outside linebacker covers the halfback. But in the preseason, he could have made Irvin the right outside linebacker.
Right. So you do that. You make him the right outside linebacker. You put Mac in the position where on 3rd downs and the other guy has a halfback in there, he doesn't have any coverage responsibilities. So you're not worried about that 0 as much. And then put Mac on the line on 3rd downs. I think that would have been a way to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like you said, if you had an outside linebacker 4, and you played Irvin, then Mac can play defensive end more readily.
Right.
You can mix it up. But I see also what he's thinking. A lot of people have a stronger blocking on the left side of the line. I'm going to blitz Mac more anyway. I get the 6 run going in there. And, before we kill him too much, he did go 12-4.
That's the other thing too. Maybe he didn't think he was going to go 12-4, so he wasn't worried about a deep playoff run. He thought, oh, this is a 10-6, 9-7 type team. So what do I want to pay for a veteran for when I don't even know if I'm going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, he did go 12-4 and was tied 10-10 with Ed Burrow in the early. It was tied with 10-10 with Ed Burrow receiving a punt. We beat him up too much.
Yeah. No, he had a great.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to coach the team to 12-4. It's not a roll out of bed. You always got to coach a team if you're going to get to 12-4 better, but it's not the team that anybody lines up and says, this team is a definite semifinal team. This team's definitely going 12-4. Blah 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 blah. There's no. I doubt that you and I picked this team to win more than like 10 games. Can you bring that up, or are you busy?
I was just getting ready to get dinner going for the kiddos, but yeah, let me take a quick look.
Yeah, it's just such a shame because that was an excellent game. Both those guys did a good job. And I love that Scott built this team up. You remember, Dennis? This was the the team he took over. He took over the team. They had Peyton Manning, nothing else. The highest bid, which was to me. And Manning was injured in the NFL in limbo after that year with the Colts. No one knows what's going to happen to him. So it wasn't like he got a fortune for Manning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People like, people like his career might be over. Okay. It was like exactly at the time when he was like going to have no card, when he had just missed the entire NFL season, I think, or something like that. Somewhere around there.
So I have my screen up. You can stop presenting if you want to see the predictions.
Okay, I can just click on you to do it, right?
Yep.
Oops. There we go.
So we had New Orleans at 7-9, both of us. So look at us, how stupid we are. We predicted a 12-4 team to go 7-9.
Yes, we had Scott. We're complaining about Spencer Ware being in the game, and what are you doing to Khalil Mack all season? Come on, Scott, get it right. And he goes 12, and he goes 5 wins better than you and I predicted to him. Makes the semifinals, and he's about to get the ball back against Ed 10-10 in the fourth quarter. And we're complaining about his coaching. But Scott, he did a tremendous job. We like to talk strat football, and we know Scott. I know Scott pretty well. We like to talk strat football, but just those 1 or 2 spots. But really, the point we're trying to make is, look, Scott coached an excellent game. Things that if you go against something or whatever, you can screw yourself. You can give yourself worse of a chance. I mean, to me, going wide when you go 3 wide and 3rd and 8 or more, I'm not that worried about the draw play. So bring in Matt Jones. He's going to block Carlos Dunlap just as well. It's a 4.
I'll tell you what it is.
Actually, he's even a better pass blocker than Ware. But good.
Well, here's what happened. So first half, Matt Jones is the halfback. Ware is unlimited in the second half. So at halftime, he goes into the computer manager, hits global replace, swaps out the halfback, benches Matt Jones, and brings in Spencer Ware in all formations. That's what happened. And so he did that, and that's why Ware was in there on the 3 wide formations in the second half, whereas we saw Matt Jones in there on the 3 wide formations in the first half. So no,
I understand that.
You want to do a manual switch for the formations you use the most in that situation. So don't do a global replace. Just change him in the pro set and the blocking back halfback set.
Well, don't you? Don't you like kind of look over your personnel briefly? Hold on, and it happened earlier in the game. So maybe Spencer Ware. Maybe you liked having Spencer Ware into the 3 wide.
Oh, maybe no.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it was in the first half. Maybe it was in the second half. But it happened earlier in the game. But aren't you kind of aware of your personnel, Dennis, when you choose your formation? You see the names out there, and especially I don't know. I'm pretty locked in. If I'm coaching a big game, I'm pretty locked in. I'm not going to have.
But sometimes you get nervous in this spot. You're facing the commish, one of the best strat coaches ever, and you lock in their formation before you check it, or you notice it after you've already hit the formation, and you don't want to waste the time out.
Yeah, that's true.
You just, it probably not going to come out. What are the chances of a dump off here for 10 yards going to Spencer Ware? That's not going to happen, is it?
Well, actually, that's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what the math is. But Bruce Miller will tell you that that running back's going to get a lot of targets.
There you go. There was good defense on both sides. If you look at the stats, they only converted like 25% of their first downs each. They had 16 and 14 first downs. So just a fantastic defensive game. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah. And Scott, let me say that you did a hell of a job and coached real well. So I apologize if we're nitpicking too much on those 1 or 2 things. Like I said, we were just disappointed.
Your Super Bowl prediction is still in play.
What was it?
San Francisco over Seattle.
All right. So I got one right. Usually, well, first of all, Dennis, as you know,
you haven't gotten it right yet.
I haven't.
You have the team right.
Well, no, I got the 2 teams right. I'm happy enough with that. As you know, Dennis, I have a tendency to pick you to make the Super Bowl in almost every league, and it works out pretty well. So if I only have to, I just have to pick the other team, and I'm usually good. Didn't work out in Somifa. And why didn't it work out, Dennis?
Because I totally sucked. 4 wins. The curse of Mark Ingram.
He's got a good card, by the way.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
No, okay, but why do you think we overrated the team? Well, I
Oh,
had a
because
lot
of
of
the four
them.
cornerbacks. The four cornerbacks we didn't take into impact. Tom and I have noticed that lately, teams that have four cornerbacks
Underachieved.
Underachieve almost every time. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
could be just a few games or it could be disastrously.
And you had all four short pass defenders. So it might even be more than just the four corners.
Correct.
No, but that's one thing Dennis and I have noticed, that a few teams that either have underachieved or have not, or have just played poorly, that for various reasons we thought would have done better, all had in common that they all had four corners.
Now, if you're going to have four corners, if you're going to have four rated cornerbacks, there is a way to succeed, and that's to just blitz like crazy, like Dan Morin did with, I think it was his SSFA team that went 11-4-1. He's
done it with many teams.
Right. So yeah, you can get away with four cornerbacks if you're just unleashing hell. But if you're not, you're counting on those guys to win the defender X or just to win them once in a while. It's hard to do. That's what you get burned.
Yeah, and let's face it, I don't think you and I are mentally equipped to run that defense the way we've seen Nathan and Dan Morin do it. I just don't know if I could get myself to be like, I've got four corners. The thing to do is to blitz everybody, including, if you say to blitz everybody and make that defense work. I don't think I can play that style of defense nearly as well as Dan or Nathan do.
Right.
I don't have any experience with it. I don't think I'd be that good at it. I'm more conservative, I think, I'm more conservative certainly than they are, in terms of that type of thing. So kudos to them when they do that and pull it off. But anyway, the teams. Anyway, what we noticed is that there's like three teams that we've seen over the last year. One was mine and one was Dennis's, that either underachieved or struggled a lot, and they all had both corners as fours. It doesn't mean that someone's going to post, oh look, this team went 13-3 and made the Super Bowl with the 4-4s. Great, congratulations. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean you can't do it. We're just happening to notice. That's what I notice. That's what I hate sometimes. If you're arguing with someone or talking about something, if you say, well, I think this is an issue, they're going to give you like an exception. Okay, I didn't say this happens 100% of the time. Okay, but there's a trend. Okay. When we were first doing the PFF, oh, well, this guy was 84 and he only got a 0. He got a 0%. What am I going to tell you? There's 19 other guys up there that all got good ratings, and your point is what? PFF doesn't correlate because 5% because one guy in the top 20 didn't correlate. What about the other 19 guys? They don't count because the one guy didn't correlate. So people can always pick out the exception, And I'm not saying these things are 100%. It's just, we're talking about some trends. Trends are not 100%. Generally the team, that would be like this. I'm going to say to you, you know what, Dennis? Turnovers are important. And generally the team that wins the turnover battle wins the game. Then somebody's going to post, look, I was -2 in turnovers and I won 31-28. Okay, great. So now turnovers aren't important? No, right. It's just silly. It's and that's what some people do, and it doesn't make any sense to me logically. First of all,
I just want to point out before I go,
I'm not done complaining.
Well, you can complain off when I leave afterward. Right. Ed, this is we mentioned it on the midseason show. So surprised, Ed. He's 2-4-1. Remember, it was like he got off to this crazy slow start. Ed has not lost a game in the second half of the season, except one to Baltimore. He's gone 8-1 or 7-1, 9-1. Yeah, 9-1 now in his last 10 games. So
yep. It's always good to write off one of the best coaches around us. Well, the ultimate, Now, John Madden is one of the quietest, like SOMIFA Family League participants, right? Yeah. I mean, almost never posts, almost never email him to play the game. You get one line back. Okay, that's good. He's just not. He plays his games. He does his thing. He comes to the draft. He enjoys it. I texted with him back and forth, like in the game. You know what I mean? Messaged him in the game. But he's just kind of like a quiet league member. You know what I'm saying? In terms of that type of thing. And that's part of why people don't realize how good he is at times. He's made 3 Super Bowls and 7 teams, and is one of the best GMs that has just built a monstrous franchise in Samifa with almost never trading. Okay,
right.
So the ultimate thing about discounting someone who's good is it was like I think it was the second quarter of Samifa. I was doing the Samifa showdown for the first time last year. And John was off to 1-3 start, and Big Ben had the interception card from the current set, and Jamal Charles could only play 1 half, unfatigued, unlimited rather, and John started 1-3, and I had scheduled him earlier, like before the season started, for this the second quarter Samifa showdown. So I emailed him. I said, you know what, Johnny, I think I'm going to choose a different game for the Samifa showdown because you're only 1-3, and I want to get good teams in there. I hope you don't take it personally,
Right.
So he emailed me back, no problem, because like I said, he's always like just very short with the emails, or he didn't say anything, So then of course John goes on a torrid winning streak, ends up like 10-6 or something like that, and then lo and behold, look who plays in the playoffs. I got to play him in the playoffs, and he beats me. So that's the ultimate.
Take that schedule.
I'm not good enough for the showdown, huh? Let's see what happens here in the playoff game. That was the Brandon Whedon interception game at the end when I threw the short pass with the lead and like a minute left. So, yeah, not brutal. It was my play call. That was my play call.
But if that works,
forced me to throw a short pass.
It was a wrong call. Hits the receiver reading, get you the first down you need to win the game. That would have been a great call.
Yes. Yeah, that would have been a preferable outcome.
Yeah. So I'm looking over the second half of Ed's results. Kirk Cousins threw 14 interceptions on the year, right?
Okay.
He threw exactly 3 interceptions in one second half game. All the other second half games, no interceptions. So he had that 1 3 interception game in the loss to Baltimore. Other than that, in the second half of the season, he threw 0 interceptions. And in the first half of the season, the reason why he got off to this slow start was the other 11 interceptions that happened. So look for that as a key Super Bowl storyline. That will Kirk Cousins throw an interception. He also lost 8 fumbles on the year. So 22 total turnovers for Kirk Cousins. What will he do in the Super Bowl?
I was thinking you were going to say, look for the storyline in the Super Bowl. Will Kirk Cousins throw 3 interceptions? Because that's what you need.
That would help. That's what you need to beat NFL Ed. All right, man. I'm going to take off. Thanks.
And congratulations! I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl, Seattle versus San Francisco for SSFA. Now, you guys, I think, have each won 1 SSFA title.
That's correct.
All right, so we're going to have Jay Veerling will no longer stand alone as the SSFA's two-time champion, two-time champion.
One of us will be 2-timers, and
yes,
don't tell our wives.
That's right. We'll see who does the 2-timing.
Yeah, and I just out of curiosity, I'm leaving on vacation on Friday. Are you available tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time, if 7 p.m. Eastern time, if Ed happens to be available?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, we'll see if Ed gets back to me on my email.
Hey, Warren, check. I'm doing what Dennis does. I'm reading the screen here. So me for trade status. Oh, it's gone.
Over here? Oh,
that was Anthony. Now is that? So is that Tony or is that TJ?
It's TJ.
Oh, you're divulging. I was going to say I need to send out some emails. What are you doing with Dennis? What's the trade? I need to get in there.
There's nothing happening. There's nothing happening.
I can make a better offer.
You can stop the broadcast, and I'll tell you what the offer was and why it's not happening.
Well, you said it was a TJ. That's why it's not happening.
Exactly.
We love you, TJ, but maybe we don't want to give you 14 second-round picks for a 31-year-old corner. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Right.
But and we are getting in the broadcast. So I want to hit Dennis's trade. So great game. We might be back tomorrow night with more SSFA action, and the Samson Super Bowl has been set also. So you're going to get NFL Ed on double duty with those two, and we'll see if he can be the king of spring, or just the prince of spring with 1 champion, or if he is not able to bring home another title. He has plenty. So we'll see what happens. Adios, folks. Bye-bye.